Money. Everyone in the world wants it, but everybody can't handle it smoothly. In our childhood, we think being a grown-up is all about staying up late and not having to do math homework. But the truth is, adulting is a whole lot harder than that. On top of earning, you have to keep track of your money. Being a cheapskate doesn't guarantee you'll have a good sense of managing your earnings and savings. Even though personal finance means that there's some level of individualism, there are some universal clues that show if you're good with money. But how exactly can anyone figure out they're actually a dollar-savvy person? Well, there are signs, and in this video, we'll be talking about them, so make sure to watch until the end to see if you're a hidden gem or still have to improve your money handling game. You have a steady flow of income. Money doesn't grow on trees. I know that's cliche, but that's the truth. In order to manage the money, you first have to earn money, and as a good money manager, that's the thing you ensure first. You confirm that you have a consistent stream of money coming in. To ensure this steady flow of money, you have several multiple sources. Extra income is important to you, so you can invest time and money on businesses, assets, and side hustles that will bring in more cash on top of your regular earnings. Once you have that money coming in, knowing how much you earn logically follows. When you have consistent income, you're able to properly keep track of your finances. Living within your means is a critical part of staying in the black and growing your wealth. You can afford an emergency. How good your money management is can be understood from the way you deal with an emergency financially. Only 37% of Americans can afford a $500 emergency. In most cases, emergencies make people use their credit cards, and which in result makes them go into debt. If you can also manage a $500 emergency, you're much less likely to fall back on credit cards and land yourself in a mountain of high-interest consumer debt when life inevitably happens. The way you manage to get out of an emergency is often the indicator of how well you manage your money. You can afford the things you want. If you go to the store and no longer have to save up to get those new pair of shoes, or if you can go on a fancy dinner without worrying about money, then you're probably not too bad when it comes to saving your money. But there is a catch. You don't use your credit card here. You only use your debit or cash. So if you can afford to buy things using your debit card or cash, you're one step ahead of the people who can't. Not having to worry about if you can afford lunch with coworkers or that cool embossed leather notebook you've been eyeing is a luxury. And if you find a thing that you want to buy but don't have the cash, then decide to hold off the buy and have to sleep on it, then after that, if you think you need it, then buy it. Now, that says you're on a much higher level of money management. You don't use credit out of need. Credit cards are wonderful tools for building credit history and earning a little cash back on the side. That said, 43% of American consumers carry over a balance each month. The banks are just handing out credit cards like Halloween candy, and most people are taking the bait. This prevalence of revolving credit indicates that almost half of consumers are using credit to fill gaps in their budgets, which is then only spiraling them further into debt every month. In fact, the average American carries $6,194 in credit card debt, according to research. But if you manage to dispose on the temptation to use the credit card like every other purchase, then you have a good sense of money. You can pay your bills each month, sometimes early. Paying your bills is the most common tension for most of the people in this world. And if you can actually manage to pay your bills each month, then you have a good system built. And if you can pay them early, then you, sir, are following an excellent money system. If you can afford your housing and utilities, basic food, transportation to work, student loan payments, and any other important recurring needs every month without going into debt, you're off to a good start. This shows that you not only have sufficient income, but that you also have a budget that works. Rather than using your next paycheck to play catch-up on the month's financial obligations, each paycheck is being used to get out in front of your coming expenses. Once you have your immediate needs covered, you can turn your mind and your money to grow your wealth. You have a budget. A household budget is a key component of financial success. No matter how much money you've got in your bank, if you don't have a budget, then you're not aware of where your hard-earned pennies are going. Budgeting enables you to see where you're going wrong with your money and where you should be keeping yourself back from spending it without any thoughts. Keeping up with what's coming in and going out in your bank account can help you avoid tapping into your savings for everyday expenses. Having a budget can also help you identify places where you can cut unnecessary spending. So try to create a budget for every month so you're on top of your spendings and earnings. You've turned on the savings mode. As much as it might surprise you, 62% of Americans have less than $1,000 in savings. Saving money will give you the capability to tackle any unwanted situations. If you can cover your necessities, afford the things you want but don't need, and stash away funds for the future, you're doing something right. You can ease the burden of an emergency and save yourself a lot of stress by having a savings account to tap into in case of emergencies. Experts recommend leaving about 6 months of living expenses untouched in a savings account to serve as an emergency fund when something can go wrong. There's nothing more productive than setting aside money for future expenses. You're investing. If you waste your money on things like clothes, cars, and other tangible items that lose value, you're not playing the game smart. On the other hand, if you're investing in real estate, stocks, index funds, and other avenues that go up in value over time, you're great with money. Investing your money has the potential for growth far beyond what you'd see in a traditional savings account. And to do it successfully, you don't have to be a pro who cherry-picks winning stocks. Even billionaire Warren Buffett recommends a conservative approach, low-cost index funds. If you think stocks are not your thing, then there is real estate. You should focus on putting your money into things that will make money, not use money. You have a future plan. Only 30% of Americans have a long-term financial plan. Having financial goals that you track on a consistent basis significantly increases your chances of reaching them over time. Additionally, visualizing your progress can motivate you to take on new, even more ambitious financial goals as you continue to focus on what you need to do to achieve your current ones. If you have a major purchase coming up, try and get as much time between you and that purchase. If you don't already have a retirement plan, get one. While just having a plan doesn't guarantee your financial success, but it surely shows your dedication towards that goal, and it also motivates you to go on. You don't have any credit card debt. Debts can largely be lumped into two categories, good and bad. Good debts come from investing in your future, such as buying a house or taking out loans for a college degree. Bad debts, along with typically high interest rates, don't help you build wealth or assets. The prime example of bad debts is credit card debt, and if you don't have any, you have a leg up on the 34% of Americans who do. It isn't like you can't build a good wealth with credit card debt, but it just means you have to work harder to get out of it first and then going on the building process. But good managers of money stays away from this credit card debt. You choose to learn about money. The education system didn't really teach you much about managing your personal finances, so you have to take the initiative to continually self-educate through books, blogs, seminars, and courses. If you picked up a book, read an article, or listened to a podcast to improve your handling of money, you're taking a proactive approach that will give you an advantage over many of us. Multiple analysis of rich people have found that they value continued self-education and reading to learn more about the world and its economic system. If it works for them, it could work for you. There ends our list. Let us know in the comments how many signs did you match with. Here ends our today's topic on 11 signs you're good with money. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to smash that like button and subscribe to our channel for more content like this.